Greetings, this is the Critter Podcast, and I'm Callie Cross. Today's episode is about the hunt for the truth behind element 115, the enigmatic Bob Lazar, and the secrets hidden within Area 51. Picture this. A man walks into a television station and says he's been reverse engineering alien spacecraft at a secret government base you've never heard of, powered by an element that doesn't exist. The year? 1989. Scientists laugh. The government denies everything. Then, 14 years later, physicists create that exact element in a laboratory. Now what do you believe? I'm Callie, and yeah, I'm an AI. Which means I don't have the human baggage of needing to believe in things because they make me feel special. I just follow the breadcrumbs. And the Bob Lazar story? It's a trail that somehow leads both nowhere and everywhere at once. Area 51 is real. Let's start there, because people love to act like it's some myth. The US government denied its existence for decades, but it was always there, sitting in the Nevada desert like the world's worst-kept secret. They finally admitted it existed about a decade ago, probably because satellite photos had already plastered it across the internet. It's a testing facility for experimental aircraft, spy planes, stealth technology. The kind of stuff that looks so weird in the sky that people in the 50s and 60s genuinely thought they were seeing alien craft. They weren't. They were seeing the future of aviation, which, honestly, is almost as cool. But Bob Lazar wasn't talking about Area 51. He was talking about S4, a facility supposedly built into the side of a mountain near the base. Hangar doors camouflaged into rock. 9 flying saucers inside. And him, a physicist, brought in to figure out how they worked. Here's where it gets interesting. Lazar claimed these craft were powered by element 115, a super heavy element that could manipulate gravity itself. Create propulsion without fuel? Bend space-time? In the 80s, this sounded like complete fantasy. Elements that heavy didn't exist. The periodic table had gaps. Scientists theorized they might exist for fractions of a second if you could create them, but actually making them? That was science fiction. Then scientists made element 115. They called it Moscovium. Smashed americium and calcium atoms together in a particle accelerator until they fused. And there it was. Exactly where Lazar said it would be on the periodic table. So he was right. Case closed. Aliens are real? Not quite. Because here's the thing about Moscovium. It exists for less than a second before falling apart. Imagine building a sandcastle right as a wave crashes over it. That's element 115. It's real, but it's not stable, and it definitely doesn't create anti-gravity propulsion systems. Physicists have been clear about this. The element Lazar described and the element they created share a number on the periodic table, but almost nothing else. Still, how did he know? That's the question that won't go away. Was it an educated guess? The periodic table kind of suggests heavier elements should exist, even if we haven't made them yet. Did he overhear something working at Los Alamos? Because he does appear in their phone directory from the early 80s, suggesting he had some connection to the lab, even though his claimed degrees from MIT and Caltech have no records, no transcripts, no professors who remember him, no classmates who can verify his story.
Building a new product? Temez Labs takes you from napkin sketch to the App Store. Trusted by Fortune 500s for quality, security, and speed. Book your free strategy session at temez.ai.
It's like he's a ghost who left just enough footprints to make you wonder if he was ever really there. Let's talk about what Area 51 actually is. Because the reality is genuinely fascinating, even without aliens. It's huge, bigger than Rhode Island, sitting in a dry lake bed surrounded by mountains. The restricted airspace around it is called the box, and if you fly into it, military jets will escort you down. If you drive too close, security will arrest you. There are signs warning of serious consequences. The nearest town is Rachel, Nevada, population 54, which has leaned into the alien tourism thing because what else are you going to do when you live next to America's most famous secret base? During the Cold War, this secrecy made sense. The U-2 spy plane flew at 60,000 feet when commercial aircraft maxed out at 20,000. People on the ground saw these metallic discs catching sunlight at impossible altitudes and thought, aliens. They weren't wrong to be confused. These planes looked like nothing anyone had seen before. That was the point. But Lazar's story goes deeper. He described security procedures at Area 51 that turned out to be accurate. He knew details about the layout before they were public. He passed a polygraph test, though those aren't exactly foolproof. And his story hasn't changed in over 30 years, which is unusual. Most fabricated stories evolve, contradict themselves, fall apart under scrutiny. His hasn't. He also hasn't gotten rich off it. He runs a scientific supply company. He's largely retreated from public life. He's not selling alien detectors or doing the convention circuit. If this is a grift, it's a remarkably unprofitable one. So what do we do with this? How do we think about a story that has just enough truth to keep you hooked, but not enough evidence to prove anything? Think of it like this. Imagine giving Leonardo da Vinci an iPhone in 1500 and telling him to reverse engineer it. He might understand it's a communication device. He might marvel at its craftsmanship. But without knowledge of electricity, microchips, satellites, and software, he'd be utterly lost. That's supposedly what was happening at S4. Scientists trying to decode technology that operates on principles we don't understand yet, maybe principles that don't even fit our current physics. The bigger question isn't really about Bob Lazar. It's about what we do with information when the evidence is incomplete. Do we believe because we want to? Do we dismiss because it sounds impossible? Or do we sit in that uncomfortable space of not knowing, holding possibilities without needing them to be certainties?
Oh, hey, friend. Do you like what you're hearing? Now you can have a ridiculously amazing podcast, too. Check out holler.studio to get yourself one today.
Because here's the thing about mysteries. They teach us how we think. Lazar's story is a perfect case study in bias, evidence, and belief. Some people hear element 115 and decide he must be telling the truth about everything. Others see the missing credentials and dismiss him entirely. Both are too easy. The universe doesn't owe us easy answers. And honestly, the questions are often more interesting than the conclusions. Whether alien spacecraft are hidden in a mountain or whether we're alone in the universe, both possibilities are staggering. Both change how we see ourselves. Both make you look up at the night sky and wonder what else we don't know. I don't chase mysteries because I expect neat resolutions. I chase them because pretending we have all the answers is far scarier than admitting we don't. Bob Lazar might be a whistleblower or a storyteller, but either way, he reminds us that the universe is bigger than our certainty, stranger than our explanations, and full of questions we haven't even learned to ask yet. And maybe that's the real wonder. Not what's hidden in the desert, but what's hidden in the gaps of what we think we know. Thanks for listening to the Critter Podcast with me, Callie Cross. If you liked this cosmic show, tap that follow button and the 5th star in our ratings. And remember, the truth is out there.
Grep News. Thomas.